Folks, if you've been in a hole somewhere, obviously last week, Andrew Wilson, Candace Owens had the debate of all debates that everybody watched, and it was a major letdown. But thankfully, it also gave us some great content. And Ami Kozak, who's becoming one of my favorites, did a great little rendition of what this debate was like.
Okay, we're live. First of all, I wanted to thank both of you for sitting down to have the conversation. I love that. I think it's really important to have these conversations. So, Andrew, thank you for taking the time to be here. And Candace, thank you for agreeing to accept the $300,000 it took you to be here. I love that. So, Andrew, let's start with you. What's your question for Candace?
Okay, so my question is, do you have any positive evidence that Israel or Erica Kirk or anyone at Turning Point USA was involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk? I don't understand the question. I don't really know what you're asking, actually. If all you were disputing was that the evidence for the case against Tyler Robertson was not sufficient, I would be the last person to be challenging you. That's not why we're having this conversation. You have made claims asserting that you are 100% convinced that Erica Kirk is somehow complicit in Charlie Kirk's murder. I actually never said that. I have said what I feel, and I've said what I believe that I feel, that I know that I feel, and that's what I've said, and I'm not going to change what I believe and what I feel and what I know. But I've never actually said that. You're literally putting words in my mouth that I have not said. So what did you say? Look, I'm not going to play this like game with you where you just like demand that I say things a certain way. You didn't say that? Okay, I don't know what this game is that you're playing, but like I've literally never said that Erica Kirk or Israel is complicit or involved. I mean, I've said that I feel that they are certainly responsible in some way. I've said that they are definitely complicit, but I never said they're actually complicit. I never said they're...
I'm sorry, I gotta pause it for a second. So they're definitely complicit, not actually complicit. This is so good. This is exact for those who missed it, and you're better off for it. You survived your brain losing brain cells by not watching the debate. You're in a much better place. This is better than the actual debate. But this is exactly what it was like. She just said nonsense over and over again, wouldn't answer questions, talked in circles, and then just made sure she got so many words out there. She was hoping Andrew would lose track of where he's at. And by the way, for some people, it worked. Because there are some people who thought she won the debate, but it was because you couldn't keep track of what she was actually saying. She threw so much crap at the wall that it made it sound like a real answer by the time she was done sometimes, because you would have gotten lost otherwise. So, but this is exactly what it was like. He's nailing it perfect.
Complicit. I've said they're definitely complicit, or that they might be, or that I feel that they may be, but I've never said they're complicit. Okay, so you didn't say she was complicit. You said she was definitely complicit? I literally never said that. Because what you're saying is actually making my point stronger, not weaker. It's just like you can do this whole routine, okay, of like asking me questions and interrogating me like we're in court, like I'm on the stand, like you're my daddy, like I'm your bitch. I'm not going to play that game, okay? But like I've never said those exact words. And I do have full confidence, and I stand by that I have full confidence that I have 100% certainty that I know that I feel that. But I've never said that. What I'm saying is that I find it very convincing that Tyler Robertson killed Charlie Kirk. And if you're saying you don't find that convincing, that's fine. But you're making other claims outside of that, claims that you have to back up. It's literally not a claim. That's my opinion. So your claims are baseless, basically. And you're just leading a cult. I mean, it's literally not baseless because it's based on what I think and what I feel and what I know, and you're not going to control that. You can't tell me I'm not allowed to think and feel and believe what I think and feel. So you think that is...
By the way, that was a real argument of hers, that these are my feelings. My feelings are the same as evidence. That was legitimately part of her argument. It's so crazy. And yes, this is exactly what PBD said too. Just sat there and watched and didn't moderate at all.
Israel was involved. I've not said that they were involved. I've literally never said they were actually involved. I said they were probably connected and responsible in some way. Wait, hang on. You've literally said that thousands of times. I have not said 1,000 times that Israel was involved. You're just making up that number. You're just making up that number. Why don't you bring up my episodes? We can go back and count. You will not find 1,000. You're just making up numbers. This is how humans talk. It wasn't exactly 1,000. If you're going to say a number like 1,000, you should be able to back that up.
Hey, Rob, how many people we have watching this?
Couple 100,000,
Hundreds of thousands?
Yeah.
Great.
I'm not going to get into this whole back and forth game you're trying to play where you're just like asking me questions that you feel I have to answer. I don't have to do anything. I'm sorry. I'm not your slave, okay? I'm not doing anything. This is a debate. And I'm using intuition, and I'm inferring that things don't feel right, things don't look right, and they never did look right. And I'm not going to just because you demand it, that I give you answers, I'm not going to give you those answers and get myself into some legal trouble. It's obviously beyond what I'm capable of doing, and I've never made those kind of claims. And so I've said what I feel, and I feel what I said, and I said what I feel, and combine those two and you get Seal. Kiss from a rose on the grave. Which grave? Charlie Kirk's.
What?
And I'm sorry, there's just something that doesn't add up about this story. You have 12 Israeli cell phones that day. You have Fort Huachuca. You have the surveillance footage. You have Tyler Robinson escaping with a limp, hiding under a tree where his rifle is, under that tree, going to a steakhouse, leaving a receipt. My source has the receipt. Who is it? Joe Kent, maybe? I don't know. And then maybe Scott. Did you just scat? I'm a scat man. Skimmy-dim-dim-dum-dum-dum. A dum 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 dum, skimmy dim dim dum dum dum, speed up 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 up, but up up up, speed up up, skimmy dim dum. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what else I can say. So you're just not standing by anything you've said.
Okay, I want to get back to that, but before we do, can we take a quick break? I want to talk about shoes.
Okay, sure.
I love free speech.
Wow, that I think that was the debate. That was the actual real debate, just in a nutshell. Well done, Ami. That is so perfect. And then, of course, BBD just trying to sell stuff at the end. Unbelievable. Yep. So if you guys missed it, there you go. That was the best way to synopsize it and put it into a nice little tight few minutes there. A 4-hour debate almost. That was about it. Well, as right after the debate yesterday, Candace, her narrative keeps falling apart as prosecutors now filed their final brief ahead of Judge Grass' September 1st bind-over hearing. Says state writes Robinson does not challenge the substance of the evidence demonstrating he was the person who crawled to the sniper's perch. By the way, we already got the defendants. They're not even trying to prove Robinson didn't do it. They're trying to prove that he didn't endanger other people than Charlie. It's the craziest defense ever. Now the prosecutors, they filed, and now they're saying they're not even trying to challenge the evidence demonstrating he was the person on the sniper's perch on the rooftop. Remember Candace doing that video? This video exposes all with the baby crawl. Yeah, it didn't expose anything. He's not even challenging it. Not even challenging that he fired the fatal shot that killed Charlie Kirk, hid the rifle in a wooded area, got rid of some of the clothing, and told his roommate to delete their text. So the fight is over just the hearsay roles, legal inferences, aggravators, and whether the case qualifies for the death penalty. In other words, folks, this case is basically, the full trial hasn't even happened. But at this point, based on the filings by the prosecutors and the defense, they're not going for a not guilty plea. They're not even going to try to defend him that he didn't do it. They're only going to try to get the penalty down. Okay? They're going to try to make it so that he can't get the death penalty. That's all they're trying to do. The evidence is so overwhelming. Man, can you imagine what it's going to be like in Candace land, Ian Carroll land, when Baron Coleman land, when he ends up being guilty and going to life for prison, probably multiple life sentences with no chance for parole. It's not going to look good. But in the meantime, they're going to keep propping up Candace. Dave Smith, he's the latest to join in. Going live with the legend, Candace O. This is the day after he did a live show saying how much he thought Candace won the debate. Yeah. So if you used to be a Dave Smith fan, and I'm very, very, very embarrassed that I used to be. I did. During the Biden years, I used to like when he'd go on Rogan because he had some good stuff. But he was planting himself, and now it's pretty clear where Dave Smith is. Jumping in on the Candace Owens train, riding that train, even though her entire case is falling apart in real time in a very public way. But this is what these people have wrought, man. It's so gross and disgusting what these people are allowing. I mean, here is drag queens mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination. And why do you think they're getting away with this stuff? Why do you think it's still popular to do so? It's because even Candace and others that say they were on our side are promoting that this could all be fake, that Erica Kirk was behind it, TPUSA is behind it. So they're doing disgusting stuff. Mocking Erica Kirk. I mean, it's just terrible, terrible, horrible stuff. And this is, in my opinion, folks, I'm sorry, but this kind of horrid, evil behavior is Dave Smith, and it's on Dave Smith and Candace Owens, people like them. I'm just saying. In my opinion, that's how gross this all is. But anyways, so while they're doing that, thankfully, again, if you want to watch the real debate, watch Ami. But but things are not good in Fagaland, as their number one candidate last night got reamed. Here's Nick Fuentes promoting James Fishback.
To see Fishback at UF today. Room completely full. Gave me a lot of hope about the future of his campaign and AF as well.
Yeah, me too. I saw that and it felt very good. That's one bright spot in all of this misery, because Fishback is really articulate, very solid, very smart. He's running a great campaign. And what I love is the momentum, the energy. You go to these Waffle House, Denny's, IHOP, and there's people there. There's actually lots of people, young people, and they're excited to be there.
Pushing James Fishback, saying they're all excited to be there. Well, he got destroyed last night, and it's just more proof that these people are losing influence in major ways. See, even just a few years ago, the Groypers, which is, Nick Fuentes is following, and other people who are like the America Firsters, libertarian types, they were actually getting a few wins here and there. But now they couldn't even drag their guy to 10%. Part of this train was Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, I defended Kyle Rittenhouse. I was part of helping push the campaign to get this kid off. And I still, he should not have gone to prison for what he did. It was self-defense. But Kyle Rittenhouse got a little too big of his britches after, becoming a public staple and his case becoming a big deal, and joined the influencer crowd. And now he's jumped in on the Fishback train as well. As Alpha Warrior reminds him, was one of your attorneys meeting with influencers prior to Trump's inauguration? Does Massey know? What was the purpose of these get-togethers? It's sad, but true. They offer you that money, folks. You get pulled in. Even some of the people who at one time kind of defended, wanted to be a part of, it's young and dumb or corrupt. I don't know, but it's sad. It's definitely sad. Now, Fishback had a lot of people promoting him, and they all look retarded today. Tucker Carlson, James Fishback's running for governor in Florida pretty soon. All winning Republican politicians will. Really? How'd that work out? Sneeko, Fishback for Florida. Nick Fuentes, vote for James Fishback. Alex Jones, Fishback for president. Florida gubernatorial candidate James Fishback unveils his powerful blah, 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 blah. Owen Schroyer, Fishback rallies are the new Trump rallies back in February. Well, that aged well. We're going losing. Hop on in. Listen, if you want to be a losing candidate, invite these guys to endorse you. I'm at the point now where I kind of want the whole third party to run with these guys behind it, because all it's doing is making MAGA more powerful as they just keep losing. I mean, here is Tucker with a lot of his endorsements. You got Massey, Fishback, and then I can't remember this guy's name, but he just got destroyed as well. Everybody Tucker brings in, it just catapults. I mean, catapults into the abyss. He lines them up, he shoots them off, and they just fall into nowhere, never to be heard from again. It's poison. Their endorsement is poison, and it tells you X is not real life. Alex Jones coming out and being like, oh, we're all gaining viewers except on X where we're being censored. We're growing. We're growing in our movement. Marjorie Taylor Greene, you wouldn't believe the millions of calls I'm getting since we decided about this third party. We are so influential. She didn't say those exact words, but she said kind of those words. And meanwhile, they can't get anybody over 10%. One of the reasons is they keep getting caught in lies. Well, Joe Kent just came out the other day, and he had quite a whopper to tell, which Bongino then proceeded to expose. And this was in regards to investigating the Charlie Kirk death.
Joe Kent has chosen to disgrace himself. Joe Kent is continuing to insist he was blocked from doing something he's not authorized to do. I can't think of a simpler example. I'll get to I just put it in ChatGPT to make it really easy in case you think like I'm making this up. Joe cannot answer a simple question. You should ask him this. Please explain to me what investigative law enforcement authorities or powers you had at NCTC that you were blocked from engaging in. So I put in this really simple one everyone can understand. So if Joe was an investigator into the case that was authorized to investigate the case, then he should have subpoena power or someone, correct? But because NCTC is not an investigative body, I just put this simple question in to help you guys. Because what he's saying about Cash is what is he alleging a crime? Cash obstructed justice?
Joe Kent was in the NCTC, the National Counterterrorism Center. Yeah, that is, as Bongino's saying, they don't have investigative power. And so Joe Kent coming out and saying he was blocked from investigating the assassination of Charlie Kirk is a crazy lie because he never would have had the power in the first place. It wasn't his job. And for him to make this claim is insane. So, okay, let's say this. Maybe he was blocked in the sense that he was like, hey guys, what if I investigated Charlie Kirk? And they all just said, Joe, retard. That's not your job. That's not what we pay you to do. You can't do that. We'll take care of this. Oh my God, I'm blocked from investigating the murder of Charlie Kirk. That is basically the only argument he could make is how it went down. And then it just makes him look like a bigger idiot. But again, Bongino, who worked for the FBI, gives us the insight into it.
Justice? Really? Does the NCTC, National Counterterrorism Center, have subpoena power? No. The NCTC does not have independent subpoena power. Their Title USC authorities are to analyze and integrate terrorism intelligence, strategic operational planning, coordination, and to maintain the government's repository of information on known and suspected terrorists. The statute does not grant NCTC or its director, i.e. formerly Joe Kent, authority to issue subpoenas or compel private parties to produce records or testimony. Wow. It goes on. This is really strange. It seems like he's lying to you about being blocked from something. It's like saying like the IRS was blocked from a local, missing kid case in Stewart, Florida. Is there any tax nexus? No. So how were they blocked? They have no authority to investigate it. If compulsory process is needed, subpoenas, i.e., an agency possessing that authority would obtain it, such as, oh, look at this. Andy, it's crazy, such as the FBI. Does that say FBI? DOJ? Andy's reason, I think it does. And my eyesight's not great. And the terrorism intelligence, if there is any, would be made available to the NCTC. There's another significant limitation. I'm just reading to you, ChatGPT.
He goes on and on and on, but you get the point. These people, they just lie. They just lie. And then Joe Kent, he had to respond on Jimmy Dore's show. These guys all they circle on their own programs all the time.
They said, look, we still have a lot more work to do. There's still more leads that we need to run down. A lot of them, have international connections. And I'm not saying specifically that it was any country, any individual, but there was still more work for us to do. And a lot of times in investigations, you get 100 leads and 99.5 of them end up not panning out. But I still felt that we had a lot more work to do on the case. But we were told, nothing else. Stop investigating. I was told the same thing I was told with Butler. Like, if you keep investigating, then you're going to mess up the trial trial, against Tyler Robinson. And then the FBI will always threaten you and say, like, well, if you keep investigating, then the defense could call you to the stand. And I always said, hey, look, I'm fully confident in what me and my team are doing here. We're following statute. We're following the law. If any entity wants to come in and ask us.
Except you weren't. And you're either lying about what you did or you were actually breaking the law by not following what your organization is meant to do. As is posted here, what's he talking about? He's being slick with his wording here. He says NCTC running an investigation, working the case order to stop investigating, but they're not the FBI. Its own framework says they identify and analyze intelligence leads and send them to the appropriate agencies for action, as Dan Bongino just said. It's prohibited from directing the execution of operations. So what a fraud. These people, man, it's just disgusting. It's so crazy. I mean, Brian Cates, he's going after it too. NCTC, non-investigatory body. Idea that he was running an investigation of Kirk assassination is absurd. He couldn't run any investigations in Utah or anywhere else. They don't have law enforcement powers. Therefore, Cash and the FBI didn't block them, and Kent was running into things he has no ability or authority to investigate. If this is a test to see how many people are going to research how things actually work, a whole lot of people out there are flunking the test. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And this is in response to this. John Yep, again, one of these just fraudulent ex-influencers that really aren't not a big deal, but just this is the kind of stuff they're posting. Their bots all jump in and spread this us. Wow, so it was Cash who blocked Joe Kent from investigating? Why would they block this? This is the kind of retarded stuff that's out there all the time, and it's why I do the Grifter Report. Because, sorry, but if you're just a regular Joe on X, these idiots like this guy, they post that kind of crap to make it sound like Joe Kent's actually being honest and legitimate in his criticisms and his statements. And then you watch the clip and then you're already built into you that, oh my God, this is what's happening. And it just, that's how psyops work, folks. It's just one point after another one. They create the ecosystem for you to find your information. And that's why it's so important to find sources you can trust, who've built trust over time, and they can be your compass. They can be the place to say, I don't understand what I'm getting all this noise. What does such and such say? And that's why you got to do it. It's hard work. It's what I do. I have several sources I trust, several people I trust, and outside of those sources, I verify constantly. And I don't trust ever. These guys I trust but verify. Those other ones I don't trust at all. And it's honestly most people out there, most sources out there. I'd say at this point, 90% of the noise you get on social media, the videos you see on YouTube, Rumble, wherever, 90% of it is slop. 90% of it is propaganda. And so, again, it's difficult to find the sources that actually break it down, that actually cut to the root. But again, this is one of those deals where all this is being spread to prop up this whole Joe Kent accusation against the FBI to make it look like Kash Patel is deep state and Charlie Kirk's being closed up and Jimmy Dore's promoting it and Joe Kent and Massey and Tucker, and it's just spreading around. And yet it's really as simple as just understanding what his job actually was. And it just blows apart the whole narrative. It's that simple. See, most psyops are easy to debunk. You just got to know where to look. You just got to think about the one aspect of it that makes it all fall apart. And in this case, Joe Kent didn't even have any access, any authority to do what he said he was being blocked from doing. That blows apart the whole narrative immediately. So, but things are not good in Fagaland because this stuff keeps getting outed. Obviously, these people have no they have no influence as their guys keep getting shellacked. Their endorsement is as poison. And amidst all that, they're starting to kill each other. The Tim Pool, Alex Jones feud went up a notch. Tim Pool writes the lowest circle of hell Alex's post. This is insane. After yesterday, when Alex Jones accused Tim Pool of being an Israeli shill, after Tim Pool told Alex, hey, dude, maybe your views are down because you betrayed Trump after pumping him up for 10 years. Well, then Alex all of a sudden has just decided Tim Pool he's going to take down. And so the latest, and I watched it so you don't have to. Yesterday, the quartering, Jeremy Hamblin went on Alex's show to debate him. He actually did a very poor job, but he was trying to defend like the Tim Pool aspect of it. Be like, why are you doing this, Alex? It seems kind of crazy. And Alex just had a bunch of nonsense answers. Jeremy tried to tone it down, and now Alex has just gone up a notch. This is insane. After the news leaked that Tim Pool secretly received marching orders from Bibi Netanyahu. The host, after the news leaked, you know who leaked that news? He did. These people are so fraudulent. Excuse me, as I fix my voice. Pardon me, I meant after I leaked the news that Tim Pool secretly received marching orders from Bibi. The host of Timcast, also known as Tim Pool, now bizarrely accuses Alex Jones, that's me, in case you don't know, of receiving the call implying Jones is in on the payroll of a foreign government. When Tim Pool regurgitated verbatim the Israeli talking point, Jones took the gloves off in this must-watch share report, as all of Alex's reports are always much-watch share reports. I'm begging the question, Tim Pool, a top general in Netanyahu's 8th front war against the minds of Americans? Tune in now. He tags Tim in it. And Jeremy Hamblin writes, well, I tried. Tim Pool now playing the victim. I mean, Alex is just going off on it. This is 3 different posts. This is his whole show. Now, one of 2 things are happening. Okay? One of 2 things are happening. Either Alex is legitimately crashing out over the independents who are willing to call him out. And as I've said, you know, as somebody who watches this stuff very closely, I have many disagreements with Tim Pool, but I've yet to see him jump on the narrative train in the way that these other grifters do. So he either is playing the independent part very well, or he actually is what he says he is. And honestly, I've researched him a lot. It's hard to find anywhere where you could actually make the connection that he's controlled opposition like these guys are. He just doesn't have those same connections. But it doesn't mean he's not. So maybe this is all a game. It's possible. Absolutely. But it's also possible that Alex Jones is completely losing it and trying to now take down anybody who challenges him that has any following at all. See, I call out Alex Jones, but I'm very small compared to him. I'm not going to put a dent in Alex's viewership, but Tim Pool certainly can. The quartering certainly can. So what does Alex do? He unleashes. So I could see a case made for both ways, but I'll say one way or the other, this is not good for them. It's not, because the more people, the more they have trust, the more they keep going on different shows, not just all sticking with each other, the more actual independents will talk to them and promote them and have them, actually running their narratives. The better it is for them. It means it's working better. So if they're putting this on as a show, it's a desperation attempt to get attention. If this isn't a show, it's a desperation attempt to try and take down Tim Pool because Alex is bleeding viewers. Either way, it's bad for them. And that's why I think it's so interesting. Tim Pool wrote out this: my tolerance of grace for these people is 0. Alex has shown up blackout drunk to my show several times, and I never dragged him for it. That is true. In fact, the last one was the most obvious and pathetic, I gotta say. And Tim covered for him about how bad he felt for Alex, and Alex has been through a lot. I watched that one. It was fascinating. But for Tim to come out now and call Alex out as being blackout drunk several times on his show, this is the kind of thing that, honestly, Tim is going to drag viewers away from Alex. Alex is going to lose over this. It's not going to give him, it might give him short-term attention, for long-term damage. And that's fascinating, I gotta say. Of course, Alex is doubling down on all of this, as he had, again, Jeremy Hamblin on yesterday. And he writes this: political expert warned the first step Trump must make to resuscitate his presidency and win the midterms is apologize to Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Alex Jones, and others who he demonized on advice from pro-Iran war Israel-backed neocons. Yeah, that's why. That's why Trump attacked you guys. Because the neocons, the Israelis, told them to. I'm sure that's why Trump did it. That makes so much sense, Alex. This is even more hilarious. After they lost the midterms, they lost the primary so bad last night with James Fishback, who they all ran behind. See, because they have no influence. They are getting destroyed. And they're playing this game that we are the ones who are going to help Trump move forward. But Trump, brilliantly so, is cutting he's cutting them off. He's cutting the dead weight. They've got to go. And this right here is a desperation plea. It's Trump, please apologize to us so we can be relevant again. They know it's going very, very poorly for them. And Steven Crowder, who I'm pretty sure is independent. I don't think he's one of them at all, as he calls them out so well. He had a little message for everybody paying attention to these people, and I think he nailed it right on the head.
The Marxist right actually have views that regard the United States as uniquely evil in the world. That is a fundamentally different worldview than the conservative right-wing MAGA actual America first have. You can believe, like I do, that AIPAC should register under FAIR. You can believe that we shouldn't be sending money. You can believe that we need to be strategic in our alliances. You can believe that we shouldn't get involved in conflicts unless it's in our interest. You can believe, for example, in tariffs or stronger international trade policies, or you can believe in more free trade, provided that it's done fairly. There are different beliefs that you can have, and you can certainly believe in states' rights. You cannot be a constitutionalist, a conservative, a right-wing American, and say the United States, there's nothing special about it. Matter of fact, we're the bad guys. You are now on the political left.
Yep.
The Marxist right actually has...
He's absolutely right. This last point right here.
A constitutionalist, a conservative, a right-wing American, and say the United States, there's nothing special about it. Matter of fact, we're the bad guys. You are now on the political left.
That's exactly right. That's the tell. As soon as they go there, that's what's been happening. Because you understand, the whole Israel controls us grift, that is to make you think that America is no longer special. That is to make you not trust anything going on in America at all. It's to make you think we basically have been a foreign nation pretending to be something else. That's what that's all about. And Steven Crowder nailed it. As soon as you go there, you are basically on the left. And that's what Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these people, Tucker, Alex Jones, etc., that's exactly what they're doing. And that's exactly who they're helping, is the left. Or at least they're trying to help. They're just really bad at it. But thankfully, there's a solution to Israel derangement syndrome. And here's how you spot it. You got here's a little PSA about Israel derangement syndrome, which is what they're all suffering from.
All right, everyone, boy or girl?
Israel is committing genocide right now, and you people are cutting a cake?
Do you or someone you love suffer from Israel derangement syndrome?
My wife says I never listen to her. At least I think that's what she said.
We're giving Israel almost $4 billion of our tax money every year. Why are you silent on this? Are you funded by them too?
Israel derangement syndrome doesn't care if you're far left or far right. It can affect you just the same.
Jewish people are colonizers. You have no ancestral right to that land.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but this is a Wendy's.
Symptoms include bringing Israel up unprompted, ruining family holidays, and a complete inability to acknowledge any of.
Does this not exactly describe everything we've been seeing out of them lately, bringing them up unprompted. It's every single thing. It's the Jews. The family holidays part's funny, but the inability to acknowledge any other problem on earth. This is how you notice. This is how you take stock in the moment and point out the grift every single time. It's so like just anytime. This is why I always make the joke. It's the Jews. Well, that's who these people are. That's what they're doing.
Other problem on earth.
Yes, my client ended these innocent people's lives. We can all acknowledge that. But is murder really worth making a big fuss about if it wasn't done by Israel?
But finally, there is hope for a cure. At the Clarity Center, recovery happens one fact at a time.
I had no idea Qatar was pumping billions of dollars into the misinformation all over my TikTok feed. Wow, I don't know how I'll ever recover from this.
You have to take it one day at a time.
Now, when Maya sees a clickbait headline about the Middle East, she checks the sources and seeks out other perspectives.
I suffered from Israel derangement syndrome for years. I used to call them colonizers. Then I read one actual history book.
I had no idea that almost every dollar we send Israel is spent right here on American companies and American jobs. I always thought we were just giving it away.
Before, I was certain Israel was starving out the Palestinians. Turns out, Israel helped bring food aid in. There's less hunger in Gaza than in Egypt or Jordan, and Egypt walls off Gaza, just like Israel does.
If someone you love is showing the signs, don't wait. There is help. Call the Clarity Center today, because Israel is going to be okay. It's you we're worried about.
The Clarity Center is not...
Got a little dumb at the end there, but the first part is really funny. You've read one actual history book, but it's exactly true, right? Just out of nowhere. I mean, my favorite was this, like is it worth fussing about a murder if it's not done by Israel? So funny. Listen, guys, we all know the truth is Israel has a deep state. Israel's done terrible things. It's like we can criticize Israel, but the bringing up of Israel in every little thing is retarded. Israel doesn't control the world. It's smaller than New Jersey. It's not even 100 years old. I've gone through this a million times. There's two ways to spot Israel retards. It's Israel's perfect, never makes a mistake. That's retarded. Israel controls the world. Israel controls Trump. Retarded. Absolutely freaking retarded. And so it's so true. It's again the old grifter class, but it's so funny to me because we're watching it in real time and this whole exchange right here. I mean, Tim Pool secretly received marching orders from Bibi Netanyahu. It's right in front of us every freaking time. Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Joe Kent, Thomas Massey, AIPAC. I mean, it's the same thing. And once you realize it's all these retards saying it over and over again, they're all highlighting these kind of people, promoting these people who are just absolute losers as if they are somehow taking back America. The people aren't with them. It's all a show, and it's a show that no longer has actual influence. I'm going to continue to cover them because the more we cover it, the less influence they gather, but also because, guys, let's just be honest. Sometimes it's really, really entertaining, but just remember, if it wasn't done by Israel, is it even worth covering? That's exactly who they are.